Breaking! Twitter implodes, Tesla tanks, and Trump sparks market mayhem. But that's not all. Russell Wilson's NFL career hangs in the balance, and a shocking new leader in Canada is taking on Trump in a trade war like never before. Don't miss the explosive details that will change everything. Twitter faces a global shutdown. Social media users around the world were left scrambling this morning as Twitter, or should I say X, as it's now called, went completely dark. Elon Musk himself confirmed that the platform fell victim to a massive cyber attack. Musk described it as one of the most resource-intensive attacks they've ever faced, hinting that it might have been orchestrated by a large group or even a nation-state. The outage began early this morning, with users reporting issues as early as 5:30 a.m. Eastern Time. And just when it seemed like things were back to normal, another wave of outages hit later in the day. Musk took to his own platform, when it was working, to assure users that they're working hard to trace the hackers and restore full functionality. This isn't just an inconvenience for users. It's a major hit for businesses and influencers who rely on X for communication. So, what do you think? Is this just another day in the digital age, or does it raise questions about cybersecurity at some of our biggest platforms? Tesla stock takes a nosedive. Now let's shift gears to Tesla. Pun intended, because things are not looking good for Elon Musk's other big venture. Tesla shares plunged over 15% today, marking their worst single-day performance since September 2020. The drop comes amid growing concerns about declining demand for Tesla vehicles. Analysts at UBS slashed their delivery estimates for the first quarter, now expecting Tesla to ship just 367,000 cars, a massive drop from earlier projections of over 437,000. In China, Tesla's February shipments fell by nearly 50%, their lowest in 3 years. And it's not just China. Tesla is facing challenges in Europe too, where backlash against Musk's political involvement has reportedly hurt the brand. All of this has wiped out the stock gains Tesla had made since the last presidential election. It's safe to say that investors are feeling the heat right now. Doug Ford's 25% surcharge on U.S.-bound electricity. Let's talk about the latest escalation in the ongoing trade tensions between Canada and the United States. Today, Ontario Premier Doug Ford announced that a 25% surcharge on electricity exports to the U.S. is officially in effect. This move is a direct response to President Donald Trump's tariffs on Canadian goods, which have been wreaking havoc on cross-border trade. Ontario supplies power to about 1.5 million homes and businesses in New York, Michigan, and Minnesota. And this surcharge could add an estimated $100 per month to American electricity bills. Ford didn't mince words at his press conference earlier today, saying, "I feel terrible for the American people who didn't start this trade war. It's one person who is responsible, and that's President Trump." But here's where it gets even more intense. Ford has warned that if the U.S. escalates its tariffs further, he won't hesitate to increase the surcharge or even cut off electricity exports entirely. He also revealed that the revenue from this surcharge will be redirected to lower electricity costs for Ontario families and businesses. Critics, however, are questioning whether this strategy will be effective. Some experts argue that Ontario generates excess electricity and often sells it at low or even negative prices. They believe U.S. states could simply turn to domestic suppliers to fill any gaps. So, what does this mean for the trade war? Ford says he's prepared to keep up the pressure until Trump removes all tariffs on Canadian goods. But with both sides digging in their heels, it looks like this cross-border standoff is far from over. Wall Street reacts to Trump's recession comments. Speaking of heat, Wall Street is on fire, but not in a good way. The Dow Jones dropped nearly 900 points today after former President Donald Trump made some eyebrow-raising comments during an interview over the weekend. When asked if his tariff policies could lead to a recession, Trump didn't rule it out, calling this period a transition for the U.S. economy. That uncertainty sent shockwaves through the markets this morning, with all major indexes taking a hit. The Nasdaq fell nearly 4%, entering correction territory, while tech stocks like Tesla and Nvidia were among the hardest hit. Investors are clearly spooked, and analysts are warning that we could see more volatility ahead if Trump continues with these unpredictable economic policies. What does this mean for your portfolio? Well, it might be time to buckle up. Mark Carney, the former central banker, has just been elected as the new leader of Canada's Liberal Party, setting him up to become the country's next prime minister. This political newcomer is stepping into some pretty big shoes, taking over from Justin Trudeau, who's been running the show for nearly a decade. Carney didn't waste any time addressing the elephant in the room, or should I say, the Trump in the room. In his victory speech, he came out swinging against U.S. President Donald Trump and his recent tariffs on Canadian goods 58. Carney didn't mince words, saying, "Donald Trump has imposed unwarranted tariffs on our products, on our sales, on our livelihoods. He's targeting Canadian families, workers, and businesses, and we cannot allow him to prevail, and we will not." But wait, there's more. Carney even threw in a hockey reference because, well, it's Canada. He declared, "We didn't seek this confrontation, but Canadians are always prepared when the challenge arises. So the Americans should be clear. In trade, just like in hockey, Canada will emerge victorious." Talk about fighting words. Carney's also made it clear that he's not backing down from this trade war. He's vowed to keep Canada's retaliatory tariffs in place until the Americans show us respect. It looks like we're in for some interesting times in U.S.-Canada relations. So, what do you think? Is Carney the right person to stand up to Trump? Or is this trade war about to get even messier? Russell Wilson's future in question. And finally, let's pivot to sports, because NFL quarterback Russell Wilson is making headlines, but not necessarily for all the right reasons. After a rocky season with the Pittsburgh Steelers, Wilson is now a free agent, and his options are starting to dwindle. Despite leading the Steelers to an impressive 6-1 start last season, things fell apart down the stretch with 5 consecutive losses and an early playoff exit. Now, reports suggest that only 2 teams, the Tennessee Titans and New York Giants, are seriously considering signing him. It's quite the fall from grace for a player who was once considered one of the league's top quarterbacks. But hey, this is the NFL. We've seen comebacks before. Do you think Wilson still has what it takes? Drop your thoughts below. Remembering Alysha Burney, a rising star gone too soon. Heartbreaking news today as the internet mourns the loss of Alysha Burney, a beloved YouTuber, comedian, and content creator who has reportedly passed away at just 25 years old. Known for her viral Bad Girls Club parody series and her ability to bring laughter to millions, Alysha was a rising star in the world of digital entertainment. Born on March 3, 2000, in Missouri, Alysha inherited her comedic talent from her father, Charles Burney, who was also a comedian. She first gained attention on Vine before transitioning to YouTube and TikTok, where she amassed over 1.2 million subscribers and millions of followers across platforms. Her creative works included not only sketches, but also stand-up comedy and original series like Cooking with Bernery and The Bernie Show. While details surrounding her passing remain unconfirmed, reports suggest that Alysha may have been the victim of a tragic incident during a recent trip to Mexico for her birthday. Fans and fellow creators have flooded social media with tributes, describing her as a genuine, sweet, and humble soul who brought joy to so many. Alysha Burney's impact on comedy and social media will not be forgotten. Our thoughts are with her family, friends, and fans during this incredibly difficult time.